What's up everyone and welcome back to a new video. Instead of talking about specific matchups, today I wanted to share the small things that quietly made me a better Tekken player. These are just little habits, mindset shifts, and gameplay decisions that slowly made me a much stronger player over time. Whether you're a beginner trying to climb the ranks or you've already been playing for years, I'm confident you'll find at least a few things here that you can start using in your own games. So let's get right into it. Before we do though, one quick thing is I've been putting a lot of time into streaming on Twitch and building my second channel. Checking them out would genuinely mean the world to me because that has been the dream I've been chasing since forever. Now let's get into the video. The first thing that genuinely made me stronger was combo optimization. I used to think that an extra 5 or 10 damage really wasn't that big of a deal. Until I actually optimized my combos, suddenly I started winning rounds that I would have lost before. Those extra points of damage add up way more than you think, especially if you're playing a character like Jack who already hits like a truck. So don't settle for bread and butter combos forever. Take some time to optimize your routes because it will win you a lot of games. Another habit that helped me a lot is something I still tell myself every single match. A bad punish is always better than a missed punish. I don't care if you don't know the perfect punish yet, press something. Missing guaranteed damage is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Sure, some moves like Paul's shoulder or Fang's shoulder have really tight launch windows, but getting a small punish is still infinitely better than just standing there doing nothing. Guaranteed damage is guaranteed damage, and on top of that, you're putting yourself in a better position by taking your turn through frame advantage. Something that completely changed the way I defend is learning to watch my opponent instead of my own character. It sounds obvious, but a lot of people spend the entire match looking at themselves. If you're trying to react to lows, throws, or specific animations, your eyes should always be on your opponent. The more I focused on watching what they were doing instead of admiring my own character, the better my reactions became. Speaking of reactions, if you're struggling with throw breaks, don't spend an hour grinding them. Just practice them for 5 minutes a day. Throw breaking is one of those stackable skills where consistency matters way more than long practice sessions. Do it every day for a few weeks and you'll be surprised how many grabs you start breaking without even thinking about it. Another thing that a lot of players completely ignore is movement. Tekken is a 3D game, which means sidestepping is one of the strongest defensive tools you have. Every time you're in a loading screen, you should already have an idea of which direction you generally want to sidestep against that character. There's no universal answer since every character has moves that track differently, but learning the important ones one matchup at a time will make certain matchups feel so much easier. And while we're talking about matchups, here's something I wish more people did. Losing to one move isn't embarrassing. Losing to the same move 20 times because you never bother to lab it is. Especially against gimmicky characters, spending just a few minutes in practice mode after a frustrating loss will save you hours of frustration later. Every time a move destroys you, that's your next homework assignment. Now let's talk about heat. One mistake I see all the time is people automatically activating heat during every combo. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Once heat gets activated, the rest of your combo becomes heavily scaled, and a lot of that damage turns into recoverable health. Sometimes it's much better to save your heat for pressure, or a situation where it will actually win you the round. I'll make a full heat guide in another video because there's a lot to cover, but simply being smarter with when you spend heat is already a huge improvement. This next one is probably the biggest piece of advice I can give you. I see so many players worrying about learning every matchup in the game while barely understanding their own character. Not knowing every matchup is completely normal. Not knowing your own character is not. You should know exactly what to do after your attacks get blocked, after your heat engager, after your pressure gets respected, and after every major situation your character creates. Learn your own character inside and out before stressing over the other 30 plus characters. And finally, Every character has a win condition, especially during heat. For Jack, mine is really simple. Whenever I'm in heat, I'm actively looking for something that's -10 or worse because Jack's heat smash is an insanely strong 10 frame punish. I'm constantly trying to bait unsafe lows or mids because one mistake can lead to huge damage. Your character's win condition might be completely different, but that's exactly the point. Figure out what makes your character the scariest during heat and out, and build your game plan around that instead of just activating heat and hoping for the best. And that's gonna be it for today's video. I really hope at least one of these tips helps you improve your game, because honestly, these are the small habits that made the biggest difference for me over the years. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new, I'd really appreciate it if you left a like and a subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And I want to ask you guys something. What's the one thing that made you a better Tekken player? It could be a habit, a mindset shift, a practice routine, or even one piece of advice someone gave you. Leave it down in the comments so not only I can read it, but everyone else can as well. Who knows? Your tip might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.